Hi guys, I want to talk to you about peptides because I've had a couple of patients ask me about this over the last week. One of my patients, who's actually a celebrity, he's a comedian, does a lot of presenting, he asked me if he can use these three peptides to aid his recovery. And on the surface, it looked like they could aid healing, improve vascular supply. However, this is very much an unregulated area. And in the past, there have been many medicines that originally developed that didn't have testing that were found to cause harm, or some of the promises just didn't live up to reality. Coke was originally prescribed as a medical tonic. However, it actually had cocaine in it, so it was highly addictive. Of course, modern day Coke does not have that. So these peptides, they might have been tested on certain animals, but they've not been tested on humans. They've not been through a rigorous regulatory process to ensure safety. And imagine using something today that potentially in 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years causes you something serious, whether it's a form of cancer, whether it's a form of heart disease. So I think it's good to remain optimistic about these things, but at the same time, the regulation is there to protect you as a member of the public, to ensure that whatever you do is not harmful to you. And although it might help with healing today, it might cause a serious consequence in the years to come. The other thing with these kind of things is, anyone who's tried non-surgical treatments will find there's often a lot of marketing, a lot of hype around these things, and then suddenly, once these things have been used for a period of time, we find that actually they're not as effective as it was first thought. The number of patients who come to me every week and they've tried certain non-surgical treatments, and it might be threads, it might be Plexa, Althera, and I'm not saying not all patients get an improvement, but I'm saying the majority of patients who come to see me have found very little results from those. And those treatments often gradually disappear. They might be heavily marketed for a few years, but when patients are not getting good results from them over time, they tend to disappear. And so anything that new may seem shiny, it may seem attractive because it's promising like a quick fix for something, but we need to be safe, and that means that having necessary regulation that makes sure that peptides are safe, they don't cause harm to your body. And secondly, we need to make sure that they're actually effective. There's such things called a placebo effect, whereas taking certain things can seem like on the surface they're making a difference. However, it's only with subsequent stringent medical trials that they've been proven to be effective. So be safe, follow medical advice, and only use things that really have shown to have genuine positive effects for you without any downsides. So I think in conclusion, just be a little careful with anything that looks shiny and new, because although on the surface peptides might seem great, it can find this solution for you, and it might be someone's really advocating it because they found a benefit, but that doesn't mean that there are not potential downsides or side effects, and we just don't know yet what those potential side effects or downsides are. And I'd just be cautious at this time to make sure you don't do anything that causes you issues in the future.